You know, I didn't think oh, sorry, this is in the way. I didn't think this was gonna end up being my favorite song on the album, but I think we are here. Fake Ass Gold comes off completely different from the rest of the album, and their album goes extremely hard. So the sound alone should indicate its like special nature in the EP. And it's so much to the point that I believe Fake Ass Gold is the most important song on this EP. If you listen to the rest of the EP and you do not listen to the song and you don't get the song, I think you've honestly missed the point of the EP. It's that important. So we're gonna get right into this. This one's gonna be a long video. Strap in. I have a lot to say.
When I feel like dying, then I start rhyming. Is that too cringe? Fuck it, man, just hit the keys.
One thing I find really interesting at the very beginning, literally at the very beginning, she does this kind of like preamble like vamping, but it's very candid. It's not trying to be anything. She's kind of like almost talking to herself. This entire album has been talking to herself, but this one has a lot lighter of a tone. She's talking to herself, but it's a little, a little like she's calling herself cringe. It's a little reflective, but it's not vicious. It's not, I hate myself, which the album can sometimes feel. But anyways, there'll be a lot of pausing this time, by the way, because I'm gonna go over this with a fine-tooth comb. Oh my god,
nice. Now the choir. Woo! Alright, alright. I think I got something. Here we go. Little footsteps immortalize the history cement. The horror stories come true unless you got more than intent. You're starting reps are poorly written.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause this a lot. It's so one thing DDK has always been wanting. She's always been seeking immortalization. She talks about, you're either gonna be like remembered or forgotten, and there's no in between, you know. And I think she's finally at a place where she's just starting, and she's realizing she's just starting to be immortalized in the internet. Because, the more content you put out there, the more it just stays there. And what matters is, will people remember you years and years from now? So she's at there. She's at there. So I think that's like a step forward for her. But the horror stories come true. Now that she's at that place, she's now dealing with fallback. She's been dealing with fallback. And this is kind of what Take the Bait really goes into. There's been fallback. And this is like almost like a response to that. And she's talking about that.
Unless you got more than intent, you're starting reps are poorly written. There's no way to.
The things that you say and the things you've first done, or the initial cause of these situations, they're all mistakes. And so a creator can often see these sort of things where something they've said 3, 5, 10 years ago, maybe even 1 year ago, maybe even 1 month ago, can get criticized heavily and can risk losing everything. And on the internet, people don't forgive. People don't forgive on the internet unless you make a massive apology video, but you'll still lose so many people. So there is no real way to apologize on the internet. And I think she's realized that. Especially for things about, you can't even just say, oh, I'm a better person, I'm different. Because a lot of elements in the song also emphasize that you're kind of, even if you've grown up and changed, there's some parts of you that are the same person. But we'll get there.
Repent, but thanks to improvise and rise and check how far you done went. You rivals eyes on the prize, you diving deep to survive that reef is so.
So your rivals, and you're diving deep. She's she's been talking a little bit about her position in this entire EP, about her rise to fame, and here is talking about if I read it as, if I wasn't in this position, she like someone else would be. Like, so people critique her, or she critiques herself about, like, oh, the only reason I'm up here is luck. The only reason I'm up here is for all, like, there's these reasons that, like, break her own, like, credibility down. That's imposter syndrome to the max. Once again, more things. But I think I'm reading a little too much into this, but this is talking about how, in almost an acceptance of that positive, be like, hey, if I wasn't here, someone else would be. So it's better that I myself am here.
Of constant motion, of kids with guns reloading, bold and focused, told that most miss. That for shots, throw in the towel before the magnum opus.
This one is a really, 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 really good line. Kids with
guns reloading, bold and focused, told that most miss. That for shots.
So very regularly, this pops up where the shots that you take, you'll tend to, like, miss the early ones. So the ones are poorly written at the beginning. The things that you've done in the beginning tend to fail, or they're not good, or they get you in trouble. But this also talks with the people. All these dreamers, all their attempts tend to just give up after the first failure.
Shots, throw in the towel
before their magnum opus, before they get anywhere, before they make the best thing they possibly could have done.
The magnum opus, the speed of the climb is keeping young minds hope.
That's okay. So the speed of the climb, keeping young minds hopeless, is something I actually personally that affects, like, something I feel, because she's critical of her, like, she's acknowledging of the speed of her climb can make people feel like, it's impossible to get to where she is. And I have personally felt that as a VTuber. I get discouraged all the time, because I see people. I've been streaming for like a year and a half, and I see people that start streaming in 3 months, 4 months, they rise to like 200 viewers, like, on the regular. And I'm like, wow, how did you get there? Do I suck? Am I not good enough? Should I stop? Should I quit? Before their magnum opus, right? Before they make the one thing that's supposed I've wanted to quit. And especially when I see the speed of the climb of other people, let alone where DDK ended up. Out of nowhere, like, in like a year, 2 years, she went from, I think when I first saw her, she was like 8K maybe, and now she's like 200K plus. I feel it. Sorry, that was just my own story, not really analysis, but
for rhymes are still landmines, the front lines, the war zone known as postmodern times. The heart of pennies and dimes and nickels of common sense. If young and searching for more, become a living expense.
Okay, this one's a really heavy line, primarily because nickels and dimes of common sense, and young and searching for more. People want to find meaning in their lives. People are looking for something more in their lives, something to, like, fulfill them. But those that give up, those that don't chase their dreams, this kind of says two things. One, when they give up their dreams, they kind of, like, go for a job that just pays the bills. But when you don't live for your dreams, you end up becoming someone that's just earning money to survive. You pay your bills, you survive another month, and that's it. A living expense. But also at the same time, a living expense can also mean, like, a drag on society, because you're not really a person. You're just something you were spending money on, an empty shell, a husk. Crazy.
The world's a nasty place, the happy faces painted on masks. And if you say it unironically, the internet laughs. The straight and narrow isn't fair, the got to lose pass. I choose to heckle myself, the method ain't special, it's math.
Ah, I don't think I fully understand this line as much. I don't think I fully understand this line as much. The straight and narrow ain't fair though, so got to lose path. If you if you don't play the game, I think I like talking about the room where it happens when it comes to Hamilton because I think this kind of not really refers to it, but has the same sentiment. If you don't play the game, if you don't do what you got to do, you'll just lose. You can lose by doing shitty stuff, and you can lose by doing the straight and narrow. So, you know, whatever she had to do to get where she did, she'll just she heckles herself and makes her feel a little bit better, maybe.
You know, ragged, reckless, what's your wisdom? You had your riches, then you kissed them goodbye. For lies and fire bright skies, rolling dice will never opening up your eyes. Atop this throne of sticks and stones, about 1,000 miles from a hollowed home, I shall thrive, survive. You are alive, don't let them tell you doing too many five. Rejection sensitive, inventive kid who cried she'd make. I was defensive, sad, creative, planning every escape. I fled to gutters on the net, invented insatiable hate. Why should it alarm me? Suddenly karma hit me smack in the face.
Hi, this is a D from the future. I totally forgot to include that despite her talking about how her past wasn't like necessarily all that great and like how her start is kind of like messy and all of these other things. Um the sound is very reminiscent of like 80s 90s rap. Don't quote me on that one, I'm not very good at rap. But also it feels like it waxes a bit more poetic. There's a lot more double and triple meanings and a lot more like multiple rendition like readings, and it almost feels like she's harkening back to her background as a like poet when she used to do poetry. So more support that even though there's mistakes she's made in the past and she'll move on forward, she's also not forgetting about the past. She's accepting it as part of herself. Anyways, that's it. Yeet. uh this one talks a little bit about her history growing up where she was defensive, sad, creative, planning every escape. I fled the guards and had to fit event insatiable hair. There are places on the internet you can definitely throw out your negative thoughts as much as you can, but also now that she's where she is, karma has hit her in the face out of panic protect, and so instead of owning up to that,
Sure, I was utterly in panic, pretended to wax satanic, and damn it, I almost had it. But granted, life never goes out.
she doubled down on the the dark parts. Like, oh man, I could take the responsibility of my actions, or maybe I just tell everyone I'm a bad person. Maybe I'm just saying like, yo, I'm hard, I'm hardcore, I'm bad to the bone, and double down. But and she almost did become a worse person in that regard. She could have just doubled down even harder and like and burned in dark. But never life never goes how you planned, and she ended up rising out of it.
Landed, I couldn't stand it, and never could hand it to the only souls emboldening me here on this planet. Mistake after
She couldn't give the dark part. She couldn't show people the dark parts of the people that actually like kept her around, kept her alive.
mistake. If I'm the victim, let me take and toward the spirit. Sheer for me, fear had made me a snake. I put my share of shame to rest, but I chose my own coffin. I should have paid you what I owed you and said thank you more often.
She's in this particular line, she's talking to somebody. She's talking to someone, don't know who it is. And toward the spirit cheering for her, though a fear had made me a mistake. I did something that I'm not proud of. I don't know, like that is what she's saying. I don't know what it is. I put my share of shame to rest, but I chose my comment. But I made the decision regardless. I should have paid you what I owed you and said thank you, but I should have been kinder. I should have given you what I owed you. I should have done maybe the right thing and been more thankful. Damn.
God forgive me if the shit outlives me, damn it just might. A rocky less than perfect journey, yeah that's music alright. Still I refuse to lose my foot and we ain't even at halftime. Cause the proof's in what you put in, but it ain't special, it's math, right?
A rocky less than perfect rain is musical, right? I refuse to lose my footing weight even at halftime. I'm not done going to where I need to get going, but the proof's in what you put in, but ain't special. It's math. Mm. She's not done rising. And so even though she feels these like feelings and these regrets and she should have done better, she just has to keep going. I picture heavily that this song, so the story of Shut Up, Get Happy in my mind is wanting is I have to say something, I have to vent, I have to explode. The second one, taking the bait is all these are all the things I need to say. The third one, dark hour is after I've expended all of my energy, this is what's left. This is I'm spent. It's dark. It's late at night. My demons are hitting me. But I think what makes Fake Ass Gold so important is that Fake Ass Gold is the morning after. She's woken up. I have this picture in my mind of Demon Dice staring in the mirror, splashing her face with water, and saying, "What are you doing? Yeah, you made some bad decisions. Yeah, things weren't great before. Yeah, you're getting hit by all these choices in the past. Sure, but you have to keep going. Suck it up." I think. I think she's calling herself out again, but it's like more motivational than hatred. You know, it's more like, Jesus, what did I do last night? Did I really say all those things? Did I really vent that hard? Did I really act like a complete dumbass? Is not that I believe she was, but I think she's like it's just being a little embarrassed about going through a really rough night and be like, man, what a dummy.
Ragged, reckless, what's your wisdom? You had your riches.
Ragged reckless. Yeah, her riches, then you kissed them goodbye. She was seeking fame and stardom. Of course. That's just what you do. But she realized that she had all the riches, that she had the things she wanted before this fame, and she chose to throw them away.
Then you kissed him goodbye for lies and pyrite skies.
Pyrite skies or fool's gold, which is fake ass gold. Unsurprisingly, pyrite skies. So what she ended up finding, the stardom that she sought didn't have what she wanted. And she realized that the time she had before all of this made her a lot made her really happy.
Guys, rolling dice will never open it up your eyes. A toughness thrown off sticks and stones.
People throw sticks at stones in her, and she's 1,000 miles from where she started, where she grew up, from her beginning. She's far. This could say, "Oh man, I'm really far from home," because Japan for all the way from like America, but also I think I'm really far from where I started from.
About 1,000 miles from a hollowed home. I shall thrive, survive. You are alive. Don't let 'em tell you.
But even though you are far from home, even though people keep throwing sticks and stones at you, own it. Own it. She's telling herself, shut the fuck up and own it. You are here. You've gotten here. Great job. Man, yeah, things have sucked. But this is her like splashing water in her face over and over again. Get it together. It's self-motivation.
Do makes fire. And there will be mistakes and there will be days of sorrow. There will be knowing better. There will be a tomorrow. No road is loaded with silver and gold. It's just the treasure that you make for you.
She's really saying that the treasure that really matters is the stuff that means something to you. She's almost saying friendship is power. Friendship, the real gold, the real treasure was the friendship we made on the way. What you had, what you cared about. That was the real treasure, not necessarily stardom. God. There's nothing perfect out there.
And there'll still be minor villains to kill along the way. You could fill yourself with later, be real, be on your way.
This is more cases where it's just you fill yourself with hate, or and they're minor villains, but be real, be on your way. This is more, hey, you're gonna have to deal with more. You got this.
'Cause life's tough, but love, when enough is enough, could be the treasure that you make for you. Just for you, Up this thrown of sticks and stones, about 1,000 miles from a hollow dome. Will shut, thrive, survive. You are alive. Don't let them sell you 2 and 2 makes 5. And there will be mistakes, and there will be days of sorrow. No, will be knowing better. There will be a tomorrow. No road is loaded with silver and gold. It's just the treasure that you make for you.
This song's really important. It's become my favorite of the entire EP because no matter how dark it gets, no matter how much you've expended, no matter how much you've vented, no matter how bad your thoughts get, no matter how much you think you've set yourself in trouble, no matter all of these things, no matter your beginnings, no matter everything, no matter your regrets, no matter anything, you got this. You can survive. You will survive. You will move forward. You will get out of this. People have been saying that this is the sequel to You're an Ace Kid, and that's probably why this is one of my favorite songs now of hers. Like, Hazy Skyscrapers was really good, but my favorite so far was my favorite up until this point is You're an Ace Kid. Now I have a difficulty choosing between that and this because I really think You're an Ace Kid is, wow, things have been tough, but don't worry, you got this, kid. You failed, but you can get up and you'll try again. And this one is like it's it's similar but different in tone. It is you've made mistakes but that's also okay. And things are catching up with you, but you will get out of this alive. You'll be fine. So thinking of them as sequels is really nice because You're an Ace Kid is failure to even get somewhere. And this is like no matter where you are, you will be making mistakes and the future will be filled with more mistakes. But it's fine. You'll be fine. You'll be okay. God, this song. If you don't listen to Fake Ass Gold, you don't understand the entire EP. Because even though there was a vent, even though all of these things were said, Fake Ass Gold tells you to get up. Don't get stuck in the hate. Don't get stuck in the hate. You'll find love and you'll find all of these things that you think you don't deserve or you don't have. You'll get through it. Anyways, thank you so much for listening of my coverage of Shut Up, Get Happy. I've been Dice Queen D. I stream on Twitch, YouTube. I don't stream on YouTube. Hit me up, please, or whatever. Even if you don't, I'll make it, right? I'll make my own way.